Now, the next part is who are the users of the financial reporting. In the previous section, we have already discussed about what is corporate reporting, but what is financial reporting, what are the importance of financial reporting, what are the objectives behind financial reporting. So, all of these areas are useful if you know who are the users of the financial reporting. So, there are so many direct users of the financial reports, then there are so many indirect users. Apart from that, we can divide it from the internal users and the external users. Internal users are those users who are from the company's part of view, that who are the members of the company, and external users are those users who are not the debt, they are the outside party. So now here we have I have already prepared a chart that who are the users of the financial reporting. The first user is the owners. Owners means the management itself. First of all, we have to follow different rules and regulations regarding the corporate reporting part. Due to a company is the direct users of the financial report. If I prepared our report, corporate reports, as per the guidelines given by the different regulatory bodies, as per the different guidelines given by the Security Exchange Board of India, as per the guidelines given under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, as per the Companies Act 2013, and apart from that, the other regulatory bodies. So our reports should be compared with the one report to the another report. We can compare our company's performance from the 1 year to another years. So it is better on behalf of us to prepare our financial report as per the rules and regulations given by the different bodies. So we are the direct users from the company, as a part of the company. That means the owners of the company are the direct users of the financial report. Next users are the customers. Customers are the main part of any business, because before they are going to purchase any goods or services, each and every customers nowadays they need the detailed information about the company, because today's customers are very interested to know the background of the company before purchasing any goods. If the brand of the company is on the high level, if the company is on the high level, so it is better on behalf of the customers to buy the products of that company. If the company is not able to maintain their goodwill, it is not possible on behalf of the customers to buy the product of those companies whose goodwill is not good. So from the company's point of view, customers are also the users of the financial report. So the company have to disclose their detailed information in the annual report, their website regarding the financial reports, as per the rules and regulations, that it can get more and more customers. Next is the competitors. Competitors are also the users of the financial report. Competitors means those who are doing their parallel business to the parallel business as we are doing the current business. So competitors are also, they need such kind of information which can be useful for them. And from the competitors' part of view, if we want to stay in the market, so we have to disclose such information which are useful to the competitors also, that we are following such kind of rules in our business. Next is the managers. Managers is the top level personnel of any business, so they are also the direct users of the financial report. Employees and their representatives. Employee is also internal part of the business, so they need each and every information from the company. That means that their financial performance, their non-financial performance, it will motivate our employee, that will automatically increase the production process. They are the direct users of the financial report. Next is the lenders. Lenders means those who supply their goods on credit to our business. Apart from that, the lenders are the bankers who give the loan to the banks on the basis of some credit. So lenders are the direct users of the financial report, because before the investment, if any supplier want to supply their goods in our company, they know they need different types of financial information. On the basis of the financial information given to the different lenders, they are satisfied whether to invest in their money in our company, whether to supply goods on credit to the company or not. On the other hand, bankers also need different types of information from the corporate sectors, because they need different types of financial information, whether what type of financial information they need it, whether the liquidity position of the company is good, whether the solvency position of the company is good or not. On the basis of that, bankers supply the loan to the business. Apart from that, government is also a direct user of the financial report, because government needs financial reports of each and every company from two parts. The first part is the regulation part. That means they want to know whether the rules, whether each and every enterprises follow the different rules and regulation as per the rules and regulation given by the corporates, by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs or not, whether the company have follow the different guidelines given as per the Security Exchange Board of India. Apart from that, the company, whether the company follow the different accounting standard issued time to time by the different regulatory bodies or not. So from that part of view, government is also the users of the financial report. On the other hand, from the taxation part, government is also a users of the financial report, because on the basis of the financial performance, they collect tax from the corporate sectors. Next is the supplier. Supplier means who supply the goods on the credit, that we have already discussed in the lenders parts. Okay, here the supplier means the supply the goods on credit. So before supply the goods on credit, they also need the such kind of information, whether the company is able to, the liquidity position of the company is good or not. On the basis of that, they supply the goods to the company. Next is the investment analyst. Apart from that, nowadays there are so many investment analysts in the corporate sector. For example, Business Standard, Economic Times, they also need such type of information which is useful for them, and on the basis of the information collected by the different investment analysts, they prepare a ranking on the basis of the investment information collected by the different business enterprises, whether they follow the rules and regulations given by the company, whether what type of information they disclose in their annual report, and on the basis of that, they prepare a ranking of the different companies, that means the top level company, either the middle level company, or from the different sectors. That ranking can be done by the company on the basis of the sales, on the basis of the market capitalization, on the basis of their last performance. So they are also the users of the financial report. Last is the community and the representatives. Suppose we are not the shareholder of the company, and suppose we are not also the customer of that company, but also we are the indirect users of the financial report, because at the time of investment, where we are going to invest our money in any company, before investment we need detailed information about the company. So that detailed information about the company help us to take investment decisions on the basis of the financial reporting, with financial reports prepared by the company as issued by the company. The different investors, that means the normal people, the common people, they take their profound decisions whether to invest our money in that company or not. Now, as we already discussed about the different aspect of the financial reporting, that is what is financial reporting, what are the objectives of financial reporting, why we need financial reporting, what are the importance of financial reporting, and who are the users of the financial reporting. The next part we are going to discuss about the current financial reporting practices in India, or either the different emerging issues regarding the corporate reporting practices in India nowadays. Nowadays we know that there are so many rules and regulations issued by the company, issued by the different regulatory bodies to improve the corporate reporting practices in our country, because from the last few decades we know that there are so many corporate scandals have been done, starting from the Harshad Mehta case, Satyam scandals, Sharda scandals. Nowadays currently we know that the Punjab National Bank scandals. So these scandals, these corporate scandals create a adverse effect in the minds of the different users, whether to invest our money corporate sector or not. Okay, to protect the interest of the investors, the different regulatory bodies, the Government of India, first of all, now starting from the 1998, first of all, CII Code of Corporate Governance has been Government of India to improve the corporate reporting practices. After that, Kumar Mangalam Birla Committee report on corporate governance, that is on 1999. Next is the recommendations of the Naresh Chandra Committee report on corporate audit and governance in 2002. Narayana Murthy Committee report on SEBI Committee on corporate governance, that is in the 2003. Apart from that, Sri Kumar Mangalam Birla Committee report on corporate governance. Clause 49 of the listing agreement, which is issued by the Security Exchange Board of India in 2004. Apart from that, Dr. J.J. Irani Committee report on New Companies Act, the Companies Amendment Bill in 2006, the proposed changes in the Clause 49 of the listing agreement, the Companies Bill 2009, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they also issued Corporate Governance Voluntary Guidelines in 2009. Okay, and now in the last current years, we have Companies Act 2013. Apart from that, We have SEBI regulation 2015, that is the listing obligations and disclosure requirement. All these committees are formed. There are so many rules and regulations given few years to improve the corporate reporting practices in India by the different corporate sectors. Under the Companies Act 2013, before that we are following Companies Act 1956. So there are so many changes, there are so many amendments have been done, and finally we are able to issue Companies Act 2013 to improve the corporate reporting practices. And there are so many rules and regulations have been omitted, and there are so many rules and regulations that can improve the reporting practices in the corporate sectors. Nowadays we have Schedule 3, presentation of the financial statement, that is the preparation of the financial statement as per the Schedule 3. That means the balance sheet and the profit and loss statement, and the SEBI rules and regulation under 2015. Apart from that, we have other international rules and regulations, that means the IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard, which are also on the basis of that our Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, they also improve our accounting standard, that is which is at par with the IFRS. So they modify their accounting standard into Ind AS, which are the par with the IFRS. That will helpful to improve the corporate reporting practices in India. So these are the recent changes. There are so many rules and regulations. They comes into effect in time to time by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the other regulatory bodies to improve the corporate reporting practices in India, how to protect the interest of the minority stakeholders, and how to improve the reporting practices that can attract the more and more investors in the corporate sector. Apart from that, nowadays, as per the current financial reporting practices in India and their emerging issues, I have collected a list of topics that are to be covered by the different corporate sectors in their annual reports. And these lists are collected on the basis of the different rules and regulations given by the corporate sectors, by the different regulatory bodies. So on the basis of that, I have prepared a list of the different financial statement, some of the non-financial statement that must be disclosed by the each and every corporate sectors in their annual reports. The first one is they have to disclose the balance sheet and the profit and loss statement, that is as per the Schedule 3 of the Companies Act, that is on the basis of that to the latest Company Act. Now apart from that, they have to disclose cash flow statement, which is as per the accounting standard issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Apart from that, they have to also disclose the significant accounting policies and notes on accounts on the financial statement, that is on the basis of their balance sheet and the basis of their profit or loss account. Independent auditors report on consolidated financial statement. They have to also disclose whether the independent auditors have given the report, their independent report on the consolidated financial statement or not. Consolidated balance sheet and consolidated financial profit or loss statement is also needed to be disclosed by the company. Consolidated balance sheet and consolidated financial statement, profit or loss statement is the combination of the two or more companies' balance sheet and profit or loss statement. Consolidated cash flow is the same part, and lastly, they have to also disclose the significant accounting policies on consolidated financial statement that they have prepared. Notes on the consolidated financial statement that they have prepared in their annual report. Apart from that, the company have to also disclose the salient features of the financial statement of the subsidiary company also. That means the related company, that means the joint ventures. Apart from that, they have to also disclose the at least 5 to 10 years financial highlights of, that means the performance of the company. Management discussion and analysis report, that is also needed on part of the investors, on part of the different users of the annual report, whether the management discussion and analysis report has been given in the annual report or not, because under the management discussion and analysis report, they focus on their expansion part of the business, and what are the products they are currently issued in the market, and what are their future plan of the actions. Apart from that, a report on corporate social responsibility is also needed nowadays, because as per the Companies Act, now each and every enterprises have to compulsory expenditure of 2% of their profit in the social activities. So from the society point of view, we also want to know whether the company is also as parallel with the social activity or not, whether the company is doing some kind of social activities or not, and they have to give in the proof of that social activity. The social activity may be under the education sector, maybe from the construction sector, maybe from the hospital sectors. So they have to disclose each and every information that what type of social activity they have undertaken in the last financial year, and they have to disclose how much amount they have invested in the social responsibility activity. Apart from that, shareholders information. So under the shareholders information, the different information regarding the shareholders, that means the shareholding capacity, have to disclose by the company in the annual report. How much share is held by the government sector and how many shares are held by the other sectors, that have to be disclosed in the shareholders information. Notice of the annual general meeting, this is also an important part investor point of view, because nowadays it is mandatory to hold at least 4 to 5 meetings minimum throughout the year, and before going to hold a annual general meeting, in that case the company have to also issue a proper notice to the different shareholders about holding of the annual general meeting. Business responsibility report is also a part of the corporate reporting. Next part is the corporate governance report. It's very important from the investor point of view that each and every company have to give proper report on corporate governance as per the Security and Exchange and Board of India Clause 49 listing agreement, which is revised as per the time to time. Under the corporate governance report, the company have to disclose different types of information which is also needed to the different stakeholders. For example, philosophy on corporate governance, that means the company's philosophy on corporate governance, board composition, audit committee, remuneration committee, shareholding pattern, certificate from the chief executive officer and chief financial officer on the financial report, corporate governance report. So all these reports are necessary, all these informations are necessary corporate governance report part. Apart from that, finally the company have to also submit a report from the auditor on their corporate governance report. Next is the director's report and the director's responsibility report. In the annual report, the directors have to give their speech and they give their personal view on the financial and non-financial activity of the business. In that case, the directors have to disclose each and every information from their part. And the next one is the corporate sustainability related information. They have to also disclose, each and every company have to also disclose such kind of information. And the last one is the financial statement of subsidiary companies. Nowadays, subsidiary company also play a vital role in the financial performance of the company. So each and every company have to disclose the necessary financial information related to their subsidiary company and the related companies. All these information that I have listed in the slide, all these are the statutory requirement from the different regulatory bodies. That means each and every company have to disclose such kind of annual, that will enable the different investors to take their profound decisions whether the company is going in the right way. As a student, we can also check whether nowadays there are so many listed companies in India that is under the Bombay Stock Exchange and another National Stock Exchange. There are so many top companies of India, for example, Reliance Industries Limited, Infosys Limited, ONGC, SAIL. They are the big companies they are the Navaratna company of the India. So from the student, as a student, we have to also go through the website of this company and we have to download the annual report of this company. We have to also check whether these kind of regulatory informations as per the companies that given by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, whether the company are disclosing this kind of information in the annual report or not. So we have to check it whether the company is, if the company is disclosing this kind of information, so it's better from the investor point of view, from the company's point of view. And if they are not disclosing such kind of information, that means that it's a problem for the investors. That's all about the current financial reporting practices in India. In the conclusion, we can say that the strong corporate governance practices followed in our country. So corporate governance today, we know that there are so many scandals already happened in our country. So on the basis of that, we can say that corporate governance today is ineffective primarily because of the concentration of the corporate powers in the hands of the management. Because so many corporate powers is given to the different managements who are not doing the activity. So they are not their duty on the basis of the true and fair picture. They are not disclosing the facts of the company in their annual reports. To equalize this power, that means to stop management fraud, promote accurate financial reporting, and thus regain the shaken confidence of the financial markets. That means it will attract, if the necessary steps is taken in the case of the corporate governance, so we can attract the minority stakeholders, we can attract the other investors in the corporate sector to invest their money. So this approach can be accomplished by the recognizing the employee as a key participants in the corporate sectors. Thus, the ultimate goal of corporate governance is to monitor the behavior of the board in making management decisions that are in the alignment with the general stakeholders' interest. Studies have been suggested in our study material. We can also find that there are so many studies have been conducted in corporate reporting practices, and from the different studies that have done in the corporate reporting practices in our country or abroad, they all focuses on the how to improve the corporate reporting practices and how to stop the different types of scandals that have been done in recent years, that will, and because these type of scandals have changed the mind of the different investors whether to invest in our savings in the corporate sector or not. So to regain the confidence of those stakeholders and to regain the to protect the interest of the minority stakeholders, we need a good corporate governance practices, and a good corporate governance practices can be done if we follow true and fair practices in the corporate sectors in reporting part. Now from this chapter, so some questions may arise. The questions may be, discuss the current reporting practices in India. If this question is if the question is like that, discuss the current reporting practices in India. So under that part, we have to mention about what are the different steps taken by the government of India by framing different types of rules and regulation in time to time. Apart from that, what are the different issues, that is explain the emerging issues in Indian financial reporting practices. In that case, what are the necessary information that has to be disclosed by the each and every company in their annual reports. We have to mention that. In the previous slide, that we have already mentioned that there are so many informations which are needed from the corporate point of view to disclose those information in their annual report. Next are what are the contents of corporate reports as per the revised guidelines. What are the contents of corporate governance report, that I have already mentioned. The different contents of the corporate reports are that are as per the slide, and different reports of the corporate governance are what are the different committees, that means the audit committee, board compositions. Apart from that, shareholding pattern, report on AGM, remuneration committee. The company have to disclose all these information as per the clause 49 of the listing agreement of the SEBI Act, which are revised as per time to time. That is in 2004, and now in 2015 the report has been revised, that these contents are necessary in the company have to disclose these kind of information in the corporate governance report in their annual report. So these questions may be asked from this topic. Thank you.